Have you ever wondered why so many people struggle financially, while a select few seem to break free and build lasting wealth? This is not a coincidence. Our system is set up to keep the majority of people financially strapped and mentally broke. Think about it. Banks profit and make more when you're in debt. Big companies profit when you're constantly buying their products, and governments profit most when you're an employee and not an investor or a business owner, because employees pay the highest taxes. If you want to stop making everyone else rich and start building wealth for yourself, you need to change the way you think and act. In today's video, I'm going to share 12 powerful mindset shifts that can help you break out of the system and start building real wealth for yourself. Let's start with the first mindset shift: be an owner, not a consumer. Most people spend their lives as consumers, but true wealth comes from being an investor or business owner. It's not enough to just be smart about what you spend your money on. Now, traditional advice says that you should be smarter about your spending and follow a budget. And I 100% agree with this. But some people take that to mean that you should never buy a nice car or nice clothes. And I don't particularly agree with that. I believe that it's your mindset that makes all the difference. Think of it like this. When you're looking at a big purchase, do you see it as a long-term investment or just a short-lived luxury? An owner thinks long-term, looking for ways to turn money into more money, like investing bonuses or raises rather than splurging on temporary luxury items. On the other hand, a consumer focuses on the now, what's trendy and disposable. Our education system trains us to be employees and consumers, not investors. We don't learn about taxes, we don't learn about debt management or investing in school. To break out of that cycle, you need to start owning assets like stocks and real estate, which build passive income and wealth over time. Instead of just buying the products from a company, why not own the shares in that company and let those purchases work for you? So as more and more people consume and buy the company's products, you own shares in the company and can participate in their growth over time. Take Apple stock, for example. Rather than upgrading your phone every year, keep the same phone and invest in the stock so you can participate when they make record sales on their new products. So here's an easy way to see whether you're putting enough emphasis on being an owner. Just think about your net worth, which is your assets minus liabilities. Assets are what you own, liabilities are what you owe. If your financial decisions are building assets and increasing your net worth, you're thinking like an owner. A consumer tends to keep adding on liabilities, which decreases your net worth. So if this is you, it might be time to reevaluate. Next time you're tempted to buy something with a credit card or taking out another loan to get something you technically can't afford, consider how that choice impacts your net worth. Number 2 is don't be a lifestyle inflator. One of the easiest traps to fall into is upgrading your lifestyle every time you get a raise or a bonus. And let's be honest, it feels good to reward yourself, right? And you should. But if you let your spending grow alongside your income, you'll never get ahead or give yourself room to financially breathe. And this is a problem for everybody at every income level. Even those who are earning six figures say they are living paycheck to paycheck. A separate study found that 62% of total consumers and 36% of those making more than $200,000 feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck. So the key here is discipline. Instead of letting your expenses rise with your income, focus on trying to keep your expenses the same and investing more than you spend. That's how you accelerate building real wealth for yourself and not just maintain it. Number 3 is grow your net worth, not just your income. When people talk about money, they often ask, how much do you make? But income alone is not a good measure to define wealth because your income is only one small piece of the big picture. Rarely do we hear someone ask, what's your net worth? Net worth takes into account your entire financial picture. Here's how it works. Your net worth is your assets, the value of everything you own, minus your liabilities, everything you owe. For example, imagine two couples. We have John and Sally, who make a combined $400,000 a year. They own a big house, a vacation home, and fancy cars, but have little cash in the bank and moderate investments. Then we have Zach and Linda, who make half that income but have nearly paid off their home, drive older cars, and carry zero credit card debt. So who's wealthier? Jack and Linda? Hands down. Income is just one part of the equation. Growing your net worth means building up your assets and paying down your liabilities. So focus on making smart investments and eliminating high interest debt to grow the left side of your personal balance sheet. Number 4 is don't hate the system, learn it. The economic system favors those who understand it. If you don't understand how the game works, you are putting yourself at a massive disadvantage. Things like understanding investment income and that capital gains and dividends are often taxed at lower rates compared to ordinary income, which is your regular salary. Or the fact that the tax code incentivizes private businesses, and that if you're a business owner, you will almost always pay less taxes than being an employee of a business making the same money. It's just because it's just how the money is taxed. Employees are taxed on their entire salary, while business owners or self employed individuals are taxed on the net profits. The business owner has the advantage because if you're self employed, you first can deduct all of your work related business expenses, like your car, cell phone, workspace, lowering your taxable income and potentially paying a lower tax rate. Now, you may ask, well, why is this? Well, the government incentivizes small business owners because they stimulate the economy. Most people don't have government jobs or work in corporate. They work for private businesses in their local communities. So the small businesses hire people, they spend money, and keep the cash flowing. So if you're an employee with a side hustle or passion project, consider turning it into a business. It's a great way to unlock the tax benefits and set yourself up for building real wealth for yourself. And listen, we aren't taught these principles in school. The only ones who are financially educated understand how to make the system work for them. Whether through its investments, whether it's buying real estate or businesses, rich people aren't smarter. They just know how to manage money and leverage it effectively. So take advantage of resources like YouTube, podcasts, or books to educate yourself. These are tools that can completely change the trajectory of your financial future. Number 5 is go from short-term thinker to long-term planner. Short-term thinking is natural. We're wired to focus on what's right in front of us, whether if it's today's stock market news or if it's next month's expenses. But the truth is, the most meaningful results, whether in your career, investments, or personal growth, take time and patience. Zoom out and look at the big picture. This is especially important for investing. The market may go up and down in the short term, but historically, when we zoom out, it trends upward over the long haul. The sooner you adopt this mindset of playing the long game, the more comfortable you'll be making investments and you'll position yourself to benefit from compounding growth. Number 6 is trading time for money versus getting paid for results. All right, let's face it. Nobody cares how long it takes or how much effort it takes for you to complete a task. What they care about is the outcome and results. Your customers don't buy a product because it took you hundreds of hours to create it. They buy it because it's good. What they care about is the result, even if you spent little time on it. The same goes for your work. For example, you don't care how much effort and time I put into making this video. If the video is good and adds value, you will keep watching it. If it doesn't add value, you could just click another video. The fact that I've spent over 100 hours on this video is completely irrelevant. You don't care about that, and neither do I when I watch a video on YouTube. I wouldn't watch a low quality video just because 100 of hours of work went into making it. It's about the result, not the effort or time spent. People who become wealthy focus on being compensated for the value they provide, not just the hours they clock in. If you are still trading time for money, think about how you can pivot to getting paid based on results. It's a mindset shift that separates steady earners from real wealth builders. Number 7 is saving doesn't build wealth, investing builds wealth. While saving money and having an emergency fund are foundational to personal finance, they won't make you rich. Savings accounts barely keep up with inflation, so investing is essential for growing long-term wealth. Now, I understand investing can be intimidating to some people because there's always a risk of losing money, and maybe some of you have lost money in the past, but the greater risk is doing nothing and letting inflation erode your savings. One of the easiest ways to start investing is through low-cost index funds that track benchmarks like the S&P 500. These index funds have low expenses and they're efficient to get a diversified approach that mitigates some of the risks compared to picking individual stocks. So do your research and get educated on what's available to you and how they work so you can make an informed investing decision. Number 8 is don't chase shiny objects. It's tempting to look for quick wins and get rich quick schemes. But if you read any decent investing book or listen to any successful entrepreneur or investor on YouTube or a podcast, they all have built their wealth through discipline, patience, and lots of failure or lessons learned along the way. There's no magic bullet here. Whether it's investing, starting a business, or developing skills, we need to let compounding do its work in order to achieve exponential returns. Think of it like this. You're on a path, putting in all this work, and right before the big payoff, you give up. Don't be one of them. Stick to your plan and avoid distractions that promise fast results. Number 9 is control what you can control. No one is coming to save you. Not the government, not new policies, not the tax system. Take ownership of your situation and make changes where you can. Focus on what you can control. Things like track your spending to improve your finances, because what gets tracked gets improved. Increase your income. Besides starting a side hustle, one of the more practical ways to do this is find a higher paying job. Think about it. The best time to look for a new job is when you already have one. The worst time is when you're unemployed, because you'll be willing to take anything that comes along your way. But if you're employed, you're in a great position, right? You have options and no pressure to settle. You can look for a job with better pay, more flexibility, or even just better benefits. If the interview doesn't go well, who cares? No big deal. There's no loss to you. In fact, it just gives you more time to improve your skills, to grow, and to make yourself even more valuable to the marketplace. And if you get an offer, it can be an incredibly powerful tool. You can go to your current employer and say, hey, I've got an offer from this other company and it's 30% more than I'm making now. Can you match it? At that point, you have leverage. If they say yes, great, you get a raise without having to switch jobs. But if they say no, then you have an opportunity waiting for you. Applying to higher paying jobs, improving your skills to ask for a raise, these are all things you can control. Wealthy people take control of their financial journey. They don't just hope for better circumstances, they create them. Number 10 is admire wealthy people rather than resent them. Instead of resenting successful people, learn from them. Too often, we attribute their wealth to luck or negative traits. But if you dig a little bit deeper, you'll find valuable lessons in their journeys. What did they do to amass their wealth? What obstacles did they have to actually overcome? What mistakes did they make that you can learn from and avoid on your journey? There's so much content available now, from YouTube videos to podcasts and books. Take advantage of this wealth of knowledge, learn from their successes and mistakes, and apply those lessons to your own life. Number 11, don't settle. The US is full of opportunities for wealth building, regardless of your background, so don't settle. Push for that promotion, start that side hustle, or pursue that business idea. Wealthy people don't just let life happen to them, they control and steer it in the right direction they want. You are the one behind the wheel. Don't be a passenger and leave the outcome of your life to someone else. Remember, what you focus on expands. If you're always focusing on what's wrong, you'll just see more of what's wrong. But if you focus on the opportunities, if you focus on what you're trying to accomplish, that's what will grow. And finally, number 12, purpose over money. While building wealth is important, it's not everything. I've worked with people who have spent 30 to 40 years of their life working overtime, saving and investing, only to finally retire and find out that their health has gone so far downhill that they can't do the things they want to do. Don't sacrifice your health, relationships, or well-being throughout the process. Remember, money is a tool that can enhance your quality of life, but it shouldn't come at the cost of your health or happiness. Balance your financial goals with taking care of your mental, physical, and social health. After all, what good is wealth if you're too burnt out to enjoy it? All right, everybody, that's it for today. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.